Are you having trouble sublimating soft materials? I'll show you how to improve your process with tools you can make. Hello everybody, Jennifer Maker here. It's a beautiful day to learn how to sublimate a lunch bag on both sides and make some handy crafting tools. How fun would it be to pack your lunch or snacks in a lunch bag made just for you? These lunch bags are white, so translucent sublimation ink will dye the surface nicely. And the Neoprene material is heat safe, so you can use high enough heat to activate the process. But they do have some challenges. Pressing on a flat surface will always give you a better sublimation result. But when we close a bag like this to make it flat, it's not actually flat because of how the bottom folds. I tried several sublimation tricks to improve the results because I know these have been challenging for many of us. So I'll show you how to make some custom tools you can use for lunch bags and other projects that need extra support. You'll just need some heat-safe Teflon sheeting, 100% cotton batting, and cardboard, plus some general office supplies. Can you guess what I might use? I'll show you how they go together to make some of my favorite DIY crafting tools. Another challenge is that the neoprene can puff up when it gets hot, and that's when I had the most trouble with ghosting or smudged designs. Sublimation is actually turning solid ink into a gas so it can transfer to your project, where it becomes solid again on the blank's polymer materials. And you need to keep the design and blank still until the ink is solid again. But what do you do if the blank is moving on its own? I'll show you why I switched from my Easy Press to the Auto Press during testing and why I used big pieces of uncoated white butcher paper for this project. If you're new to sublimation, be sure to check out my Sublimation for Beginners guide over at jennifermaker.com/sublimation for beginners. It's a great way to get started. As always, I have the full shopping list with exactly what I used on my website at jennifermaker.com/644. There's also a written tutorial with pictures if you want to follow along that way. And if you want to learn how to add a custom design, be sure to stay tuned all the way to the last step for more details. So, are you ready to sublimate some lunch bags? Let me show you where to get my free files, and then we'll begin. Step 1, get my lunch bag designs. First, download my designs at jennifermaker.com/644. You can either download right from that link by saving the project, or download from my entire free design collection. To find it, look for Libraries in the red bar at the top, and then click either Get a Password if you don't yet have one, or click Enter the library. Search the page for design number 644 and click the link to download the designs. In the PNG folder, there are several sublimation designs. There's a cake pattern, a cupcakes pattern, a donut pattern, and a lemon pattern. I made these designs with the help of AI art generation and adjusted them with image editing software. If you want to learn more about the process and make your own AI art, check out my workshop at jennifermaker.com/AI art. There's also a template that you can use to make the custom pressing insert I'll show you soon. And if you're not sure how to download and use zip files, go to jennifermaker.com/svgs to learn how. The process is similar for PNGs. Step 2, prepare your lunch bag design. We need the bag's measurements for a few steps, so close it and lay it flat. I want to decorate the section between the stitch details on both sides. So we're going to measure the design area just like a rectangle, even though it doesn't go all the way to the corners. First, use a ruler to measure the width from side to side. If you're using the same lunch bags as I am, they should be about 11¼ inches wide. Then measure the height from the curve just below the upper stitches straight down to the ones at the bottom edge. Mine is 7½ inches tall. While you're measuring, you might feel a ridge in the middle. That's where the bag's bottom comes into the design area when it's closed, so the lower section is much thicker than the top. I'll show you how to fix this soon. For now, record the height from the ridge to the bottom of the upper stitches. Mine is about 5 inches. The width is the same as the design area. To use my designs, go to Google Docs in the Google Chrome web browser on your computer at jennifermaker.com/Google Docs. The mobile app doesn't have as many features, so I recommend using your computer instead. And if you don't have a Google account, they're free and easy to set up. Just visit that link I gave you to get one set up. And then click on Blank Document to open a new document. In the top File menu, select Page Setup. Set the margins to 0, change the orientation to landscape, and select 8.5 by 14 inch or legal size paper to cover the bag. Click OK to apply your changes. Our canvas is ready for the design, so click Insert and select Image, then Upload from Computer. Your sublimation design is probably in your Downloads folder. That's where the one I'm using is, so find it and click Open to add it to the canvas. Now, before we make changes, click the area that says Untitled Document at the top and type a name for the file. Google Docs automatically saves your progress. The design might come in at a different size, so right-click the image and select Image Options. Then select Size and Rotation, and make sure the Lock Aspect Ratio box is checked to maintain the design's proportions. The design area is 11.25 inches by 7.5 inches, but I recommend adding about 3/4 of an inch to the width as a buffer to avoid white edges. The paper is only tall enough to add 1/2 inch to the height, however, but that helps. Click the image and select the Wrap text icon from the menu below. Now you can move the design anywhere on the page. I like to center it for easier trimming later. Printer settings vary, so I have directions for common sublimation printers over at jennifermaker.com/sublimation print method. I'll show you the steps for my converted Epson EcoTank. First, go to the File menu and choose Print. Select your sublimation printer under Destination, then click the arrow by More Settings and click Print Using System dialog. Make sure your sublimation printer is selected under Printer. If you want to decorate both sides of the bag, change the copies to 2. Also, check that the paper size matches your sublimation paper. Mine is set to legal size. Then, under Layout, click Flip Horizontally to mirror your image. Most sublimation projects need to be mirrored, so remember that. Choose the Print Settings or Media Quality area and change your media type to an option similar to Photo Matte Paper and change the print quality to Best Quality. Make sure your legal size paper is loaded correctly according to the package. And finally, click Print on your computer. Allow the prints to dry before handling them as the ink can smear. The printed designs are lighter before pressing, don't worry. Step 3. Prepare your pressing pillow. Remember the uneven area between the ridge and upper stitching? Let's make a pressing pillow to fill it. First, grab some heat-safe cotton batting, a ruler, marker, and scissors. My measurements were 11.25 inches wide and 5 inches tall for the thin area. The pillow needs to be a bit smaller side to side so it can slip into place. So I'll mark a 10.5 by 5 inch rectangle on the cotton and cut it out. This doesn't have to be perfect or pretty. Slide the cut batting into the closed lunch bag so a long edge touches the fold, because that's what's making the ridge. It's okay if the corners stick out. Just make sure the material is flat. Smooth your hand down the bag and see if there's still a bump. That means the folded bottom is still thicker than the cotton if you have a bump. You can fold the batting a few times to see how thick the pillow needs to be before the ridge is smoother. Then cut and stack the pieces to fill the area. Mine needed 3 layers, but yours might be different. Once you have the right thickness, place the stacked cotton on a piece of heat-safe Teflon. Wrap the Teflon around the cotton and staple the 3 open edges close to the batting. You don't need to staple every bit, but make sure the material inside won't be able to bunch or shift. Use scissors to trim the excess Teflon close to the staples, and your custom pressing pillow is complete. Now put the pillow into the flat bag so it sits against the ridge, making a smooth surface from the zipper to the bottom edge. Now let's make a solid pressing insert. The pressing pillow fills the empty space inside the bag. but the indent between it and the folded bottom won't sublimate as nicely as the supported areas. So we can make a solid insert to help. If you have a Cricut Maker 3, a Maker, Explorer Series, or Venture, you can use the SVG in my download folder to cut the insert from cardboard. I have tips on how to cut cardboard in my jumping box tutorial over at jennifermaker.com/581. Or open the PDF template using a viewer like Adobe Acrobat Reader. This software is free, and I have the link for you at jennifermaker.com/acrobat. All right, so in Acrobat, open the template PDF. Click File and select Print. In the Print menu, select your normal printer, not your Sublimation printer. Now your settings may look different depending on your computer and printer. Just use mine as a guide. For the size, select Actual Size to fit the bag. Click Page Setup, and next to paper size, select 8.5 by 14 inch or legal size paper. Then click OK. Make sure you have legal size copy paper loaded correctly into your printer and click Print. And then cut out the printed template with scissors. Then trace it on a clean, sturdy piece of cardboard without any creases, because the creases can impact the pressing process. Save the paper template to make a new one if yours gets damaged. Cut the cardboard with your scissors and make sure it fits in the bag above the pressing pillow. It should go all the way to the bottom and tuck under the zipper. If your lunch bag has sewn edges, either shift to be flat with the surface or move them over the curve. Sublimating over the seams is a little inconsistent, so I try to push them out of the way. Step 4. Sublimate your lunch bag. Just like with all sublimation projects, turn on a fan and open a window to improve your ventilation before creating things. You'll need scissors to cut the design's curve, but a paper trimmer makes the straight edges easier. So pull out the trimmer's guide extension at the top. Place the printed image face up so the ink's right edge is along the cutting line. If your design isn't solid like mine, roughly align the straight edges of the elements you can see, and the result will be the same. Press the paper up against the top guide to make sure the cut will be straight. Hold the paper in place and lower the fold-down ruler with the blade onto it. Press down on the ruler to keep the paper still and keep your fingers away from the blade. Use your other hand to press and draw the blade down the straight line in a smooth motion. Then lift the ruler and remove the print. Cut away the white from the other two straight edges the same way. Then use scissors to trim along the curved top, removing the last of the extra white space. All right, now turn on your heat press. I'm going to use the Cricut Auto Press and set it to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 204 degrees Celsius, and set the time to 10 seconds for preheating. If you're using a different heating method, I recommend you see my Sublimation cookbook for additional details over at jennifermaker.com/sublimation cookbook. Put a piece of white cardstock on the press's heating mat. Place the neoprene lunch bag on the protected mat so the pressing pillow is on the bottom. Make sure the cardboard insert makes the top sublimation area even. Use a lint roller to clean the bag's surface, because any dust you leave can grab the link, making white spots at the end. Place a large piece of white uncoated butcher paper on the bag to protect it from direct heat. You should be able to hold each end with your hands safely away from the heat press. Then preheat the bag for 10 seconds with light pressure to remove wrinkles and moisture. The wrinkles and moisture interfere with the design transfer, so this is important. Now remove the butcher paper. The neoprene might look like it's bubbling up a little, but that's okay. It will cool and flatten back out. While the bag cools, gently bring the print's short sides together to make a very small crease, avoiding the ink at the top's middle. Place the print face down on the bag so its curve fits just below the stitched seam by the zipper, and the middle crease is centered below the handle. Use heat-resistant tape to secure the upper edge to the bag. Smooth the design straight down, then use the tape to secure its bottom edge to the bag's uppermost folded section. Then smooth out from the middle to the one short side edge. Tape the paper around the edge and secure it to the neoprene fabric, and repeat for the other side. Now the tape might not stick to the textured fabric, so use a few pieces and press them down well to keep the print from shifting. Some of the design will hang over the bag's curved bottom. Just make sure the area underneath is protected by cardstock. Cover the design with white uncoated butcher paper, making sure you'll be able to hold the sides during pressing to keep some pressure on the bag while it finishes sublimating. This is important. Keep the press at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius and set the timer to 60 seconds. And then press the design for 60 seconds. When the time is up, hold the butcher paper in place at the sides to keep some pressure on the bag when the press automatically opens. The fabric might puff up again, and that led to some ghosting in my testing. But holding everything in place with the long butcher paper for about a minute gave me much better results. Remove the butcher paper, print in any remaining tape to reveal the design. Allow the bag to cool so the sublimation process is complete. To decorate the other side, flip the bag over. Then move the cardboard insert from below the pillow to on top to smooth the new surface. Then prepare the design and press it following the same steps. Step 5, show it off. And now you have a decorated lunch bag ready for all of your adventures. Step 6, customize it. Would you like to make your own lunch bags with different designs? You can learn how to do that and much more in a special program called Advance with Jennifer Maker. As part of the program, you'll get access to a Canva template designed to fit these lunch bags, plus tons of design elements to make your own background and design. I'll show you how easy it is using Canva. And once you learn how to use these tools for the bags, you can apply the skills to other projects, so the creativity doesn't stop there. All that and more is available in Advance, a program that helps you advance your crafting skills by teaching you how to design and customize. You can truly make these popular designs your own through my tutorials and templates. You'll also gain access to my vast library of designs, projects, and resources. Now, I may or may not be accepting new members into the advanced program at the time you see this, but if you're interested, go to jennifermaker.com/advance to learn more. And there you go. You're now ready to snack in style with a fancy lunch bag. Keep your work looking fresh by hand washing the lunch bag and letting it dry flat. If you really need to, you can put the bag in the washing machine on a gentle cycle with cold water and mild detergent. Do not dry it in a dryer, though. It will last much longer with gentle care. Plus, now you can make pressing pillows and solid inserts to help smooth out other projects with bumps. I did try pressing the bags with either the pillow or just the cardboard insert, but using both together is the way to go. The pressing pillow will hold up for lots of projects, but you might need to make a new cardboard insert if yours gets creased. Even small indents can let the neoprene shift and smudge the design. This took a lot of testing, so don't be discouraged if your first bag or two isn't perfect. An imperfectly decorated bag is still helpful for holding treats and meals. Just take your time and try again. And if you want to learn how to create your own designs in Canva, remember to visit jennifermaker.com/advance for more information. And if you're intrigued and want to learn more about sublimation, my Sublimation Startup mini course is the perfect next step. You can get all the details over at jennifermaker.com/sublimation startup. I also have a Facebook group just for sublimation, which is a great way to see all the fun you can have with it and all the amazing things you can make. Whether you're new to sublimation or not, come join us at jennifermaker.com/sublimation group. I'd love to have you ask questions, share ideas, and get inspired. And if you decorate a lunch bag, please come show us your results. And that's it for today. Until next time, this is Jennifer Maker reminding you to craft a life you love.